Have you heard of Creator Camp before?
Who puts it on?
I don't know. I think it's their own little creative collective, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know that there's Jack Conte was involved with an early kind of thing that they were doing for a little while, but I think their own thing. Actually, I have questions about where their funding comes from too, but they're basically a little creative collective. I think they're down in Texas. They invite a bunch of creators there, and their big thing is like how we get creators into Hollywood. Does that sound familiar at all?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll give you a little bit of context. The reason I bring it up is because they have created. These are a bunch of creators. Well, actually, let me give you a little context on the Who. There's a guy. His name is American Baron, or at least that's what he goes by. I think on like TikTok, I think his name is Baron Ryan, if I remember correctly. But on TikTok, he goes by American Baron. And for years, I've actually seen his stuff pop up on my feed. He does these great little scripted scenes where he plays two characters. They're very dialogue driven. They're almost like Tarantino-esque in the way that they kind of or maybe Coen-brothers-esque in the way that they have conversation back and forth. And he does a very good job acting out both characters. And these little quick hits of like 1 to 2 minute scenes, basically. Usually very philosophical in nature. Creator Camp invited him to their studios and said, hey, we're going to give you a $100K budget, 100 days, and you're going to make us a movie, basically. And so he wrote a movie. I think it's like a romantic comedy based off of a recent breakup that he had put together the team of people around there. I think all creators or all local actors and things like that.
With $100,000?
I think with $100,000. Okay. And did their best to create a feature-length film that they would then go and distribute. And their big thing, funny enough, is to go into theaters and get distributed. So just this last weekend, I didn't get to go to it, but they started a tour that began in Seattle and is working its way down the West Coast and then over to New York by mid-November. And by all accounts, it seemed very successful. People really enjoyed it. People are very in on the mission here of creators disrupting the old Hollywood system. You notice a theme here. There is, and so I think they showed it at the Majestic Bay Theater, if I remember, and in San Francisco, they're doing it at the Palace of Fine Arts. And they're going to go down the list of these kind of, smaller to medium-sized theaters where they're going to sell, tickets to these shows. You get to interview, or not to interview, but ask questions of Baron Ryan and things like that and talk to the team, basically, and see how they made it. But they're going on tour, and they're actually doing the thing, right? And they made this movie, and they're going to distribute it online after it has a run in theaters. And their big thing is to go around the Hollywood system and go direct to YouTube as creators. And so on one end, you have Netflix doing kind of the old-fashioned way, but through their algorithmic system, and then piggybacking off of the success of YouTube. And on the other end, you have these creators who are, like we talked about, just posting their own things and doing their own things. And kind of in the middle here, you have this Creator Camp group who's trying to kind of nail the movie and the movie's success on YouTube. And so I know that there's actually a couple creators that we know that went to this thing. They seemed like they had a lot of fun. I know that there's a lot of creators that follow Creator Camp because it's inspirational to them. It is aspirational to be that true creative self and express your story in a feature film. Like that's just a medium that that pretty much any person in video has some level of aspiration towards. And so I'm curious about what you think about that. We'll keep this one short, but I just wanted to put it on your radar because it's an interesting development in the space as the power of these platforms really makes itself clear.
Yeah. Well, I'm not familiar with that creator and the movie. Obviously, I haven't seen it. Yeah. But, it's just like a mini version of what happens in Hollywood. Every time an actor or actress, star in a movie, what do they do to promote the movie? A PR junket,
yes. Right?
They go to different PR gatherings and they bang out 10, maybe 50 interviews and then maybe go to London, do the same thing. I mean, this is just that version of it. The difference is when you do a PR junket, you're getting interviewed by somebody from a publication or a news channel or maybe even a YouTube channel. And then that video goes out to maybe your fans or potential fans of the movie. In this case, it's direct. The relationship's more direct, way more intimate too, because these are people that probably watched you.
Yes.
And the hustle of meeting your fans is going to help, I think, the movie do well versus the movie. Just the thing about the Demon Hunters, going back to, I don't know if we're revisiting that.
Yeah.
It just did well because it was a great movie.
Yes.
There's no PR junket for that.
Yeah.
There might have been some kind of marketing push.
No, I mean, going back, like, they didn't even know it's going to be a hit, right?
Yeah.
Like, this so much so that there's not going to be toys this December.
I don't have any big thoughts on that because it could have gone both ways. I think 100,000 isn't even that much.
Oh, yeah, it's very small.
It's very small,
indie,
right?
yeah.
Like, they probably put in their own money, you know, to make it big. But I will say it's just the beginning of more of that kind of money.
Yes.
Because as Netflix included sees people succeeding on YouTube on their own accord with their own budgets, they're like, how can we amplify it? But it's just ironic talking about K-pop Demon Hunters because they still got gunpowder that's dry and ready to go, right?
Yeah.
So it's not one or the other, it's kind of both. The big question for me is, when is the big hit movie going to happen on YouTube? When is a studio or a creator going to decide, I'm going all in on this movie being released on YouTube? Because that will happen eventually. I don't know if that's groundbreaking for me to say.
That is what they're trying to do. That's their whole goal, right? They're just saying, we're going to do a theater, like a small theater run first, right? These 4 different locations. But our goal is to distribute it on YouTube and have the YouTube algorithm make it go big.
So the cool thing about the YouTube algorithm and just like the platform is you'll see the views.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so what did you report about how many views that
300 million?
300 million.
So there's a scoreboard now, basically.
If a movie even gets like 50 million views, it's a player.
Yeah.
If it gets 300 million views, you're talking like that's big time. Like a executive seeing that and it's like a 2-hour a legit movie, they're like, oh dang, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, that's like the metric that I'm shooting for. If I'm like a YouTube movie producer, not that you need that many to be successful, because the reality is, even if you get like 1 million views, you're making quite a bit of money. Because how many ads could play? That's another question though. Like, do you really want that many ads playing in a movie? I wouldn't want that. And that's like a bigger kind of like maybe problem they have. Because when you make a movie on Netflix or in just traditional Hollywood, that money is paid so that you make money off of someone paying for the ticket, or in the case of Netflix, the subscription. Where on YouTube, most people aren't paying at all. They're just watching the ads, but that ruins the viewing experience. So then to avoid that, what do? Don't turn on ads, but doesn't YouTube automatically turn on ads? See, I think YouTube, my whole thought is on landing the plane on this, YouTube needs to have a special strategy for movie content if they want to play that game. And the real question is, do they want to play that game? Because they might not want to play that game or not even care, because guess what? People are watching 1-hour vlogs, and those are definitely not produced like a movie.
Or they're watching like 3-hour long Pat Flynn
podcasts. Yeah.
Or I was thinking like Pat Flynn, like epic shows, basically, where it's this episodic thing that's almost like pro wrestling to some degree, right? My big takeaway from it is that this wouldn't be possible without the TV era of YouTube, right? It would really kind of suck to watch a full-length movie on your phone, right? Which is really what people were optimizing for 10 years. And, the other piece of it is just the abundance of ability to create nowadays. 20 years ago, just to have the tools you needed to make a full-length movie, let alone the script writing or the ability to pull people in, or just the sheer talent. There's so many people out there who are so talented now making visual media now that this type of thing is more accessible than it ever was before. And with a $100K budget, again, I haven't seen the movie, reviews haven't come out, but I imagine it's good. I really like these guys, and no matter what, I really applaud their effort. I mean, it really speaks to that opportunity, which is one of the things that we talk a lot about at Vlogging Academy, right? Is that it is the best time. And it's not just the opportunity that the algorithm represents. It's not just the fact that YouTube is bigger than it's ever been before. It's the devices that people are watching on, and that you have the opportunity to reach people in the places where you traditionally would think of as the stars being, right? TV, movie theaters, right? At this point, Netflix to some degree or another, right? YouTube is now enabling that for everybody with the right commitment, with the right approach. And on a smaller level, it's also just enabling people to build careers at whatever they love to do and what they already do, which is one of the things that you talk a lot about in your new vlogging method, right?
Yeah, to prove the point, I put out a unedited vlog, right? Which happened to be my longest vlog ever, my number one money maker.
Yes.
It made more money than all the more edited vlogs. Definitely the shorter vlogs. And I think just purely, I like to say it was so good, like the K-pop Demon Hunters. No, I actually think just the length of it was just a perfect fit for my viewers and the type of people that want to view that type of content. And that's why it made a lot of money. Because literally more ads play in a 56-minute video versus my normal 20 to 30-minute video. So proves the point that one, an unedited piece of content can get views. And two, the longer videos pay more because literally more ads show up. And this is just kind of like showing that my new vlog method works, but this like new demand for longer videos is the beginning of the new opportunity on YouTube, the new era of YouTube that a lot of creators are taking advantage of, and you can take advantage of on the Vlogging Academy if you want to join and learn from me.
Yeah, if it seems lofty to you what we're talking about, all this takes is a first step, right? It's to start to understand YouTube and start to understand what you want to do on YouTube. And we really, truly believe that anybody can do that, right? If you're looking for the easiest way, what we believe is the easiest way to get started on YouTube, go check out vloggingacademy.com to learn a little bit more. We talk a lot about it there. You can also email us at hello@vloggingacademy.com. We're happy to have a conversation with you. And our thanks of the students of Vlogging Academy for helping with this show.